Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. It was online.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going. Check whether YouTube also get activated. Is it okay on screen, please?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
Okay. Others on YouTube?
Yeah, it's YouTube also. It's very nice, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Fine, thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, friends. Once again, we invite you onto this platform and all other friends who are joining me on YouTube live streaming. Thank you very much for joining me today. I once again at the outset thank Sri Upendra sir for facilitating me into this session again in the morning. I welcome all our student friends. If you could recollect, yesterday we were talking about the important negotiation phases in detail because it's a practical paper, I suppose that, and you have a lot of assignments listed. I mean, case studies and all. So it is in that particular perspective. I am looking at the detailed analysis of different phases of negotiation. Pre-negotiation phase is a research-based homework that the sales organization need to do in order to understand clearly what the market is all about and the industry trends, market conditions, and competitors' offerings with regard to their own products, because that helps you to understand clearly to position your product before the clients. The second aspect would be the client research. That means you need to clearly understand what are the clients' businesses and their mission and their values, their organizational structure, and the decision making process, and what do they want actually, what are their needs and all. The second would be what we were just now talking about, the need analysis, meaning the client's pain points, why they are interested in our product or in our service, and what are their challenges and needs through various sources like their annual reports, press releases, and social media information. All these things will be useful for you to understand the needs of the client organization. And then about identification of who will be involved in this negotiation phase, because what happens is, if suppose you're talking to you are presenting to a client organization, so client organization deputes XYZ to a collective bargaining, I mean to say negotiation phase with the sales organization. So you need to understand from the client side who are coming up and what are their roles, are they good enough in taking decisions and all that. Because what may happen is, it can be a two-step process. Somebody else will be participating in the negotiation, and the ultimate negotiation on commercials and all that will be taking the next step. So this must be clearly understood, and based on this only you need to focus on your sales arguments and all. So that's it. And the second important aspect in pre-negotiation phase is clearly set your goals and limits. That means we have already talked about it. You need to understand clearly what you want to achieve from this negotiation. Is it relationship building, or you network with the client organization, or whatever it is, partnership goals, like say for example your company and their company go together in the form of partnership or taking over or whatever joint going. So you need to build up long term relationships, or just one time affair, like you just finish the sales deal and keep quiet. You need to clearly examine, depending upon the circumstances there, you need to clearly define the objectives, very clearly define the objectives. Then you need to establish limits for your entire scenario, because then what is that acceptable terms and conditions, and what are the maximum concessions that you can give to the client organization, because you can't give more than what is advantageous for you, isn't it? So it becomes a disadvantage. So you need to set limits to what extent. the price can be negotiated, what extent concessions can be given, etc. So then about the preparation of offers, and if you are sure about your limits and the goals of this negotiation conversation table, then you can consider what is the best case and what is the worst case. So you can't go beyond a particular level where it will be quite disadvantageous for the company, because what we have said earlier, it is a collaborative arrangement, not a compromise. You need not have to compromise from the sales organization. You need not have to compromise for the sake of getting an order or getting a sales deal from the client organization. That hurts your profit and loss. So that's should not be the case, as a matter of fact. So you need to consider what type of different offer scenarios you can plan and all that, including the best case and the worst case outcomes. So exclude worst case outcomes and choose the best case outcomes, depending upon the bargaining strength of the client organization and yours, as the case may be. Next is understand the buyer's needs and potential objections. Here, very, very important here, we have already said earlier that you need to understand client organization's needs. Very, very important. This step is very, very important because that helps you to fine tune your negotiation style and the extent of negotiation and the offers that you're going to plan and all that. So in this case, the first point is client pain points. So you need to understand clearly what are the challenges, the needs of the buyer by putting yourself into their shoes. It is empathetic. Walk into their shoes and understand their pain points with regard to that particular situation. And if you can understand their pain points, you can suggest the pain relief mechanisms in the sense that you can offer your sales deal with reference to their pain points. So this helps you a lot. Like that, you can have a very clear cut approach of answering them. Then you need to understand clearly what can be the potential objections, because during the course of discussion, the customer, the client organization may have n plus one number of doubts or whatever. So instead of they asking you the problems or objections, you need to identify clearly, as far as possible, identify possible objections the buyer might raise and prepare responses. So of course, it is a lot of things take place in this instantaneous conversations that take place. It is true, but then if you do a little homework about the pain points and all, you can easily assume what sort of objections that can be raised by the client organization. So that you can prepare yourself very nice responses, apt responses and solutions to address the client's concerns. And the third one would be value proposition. If you can answer the first one, like understanding client pain points, number two, understanding potential objections, you can best tailor your value proposition to align with the buyer's needs. Yeah, because you understood buyer's needs and you understood the potential objections and doubts in the minds of the client's organization. So it is very easy for you to tailor your value proposition, because you're aligning your value proposition, I mean to say the sales argument, with the buyer's needs, and also you can demonstrate how the product or service can solve their problems. So that's the third point. So given these 3 points in the pre-approach of negotiation phase, let us examine an example. Say, for example, a software company, Tech Innovators Incorporated, is preparing to negotiate. Your organization, your sales organization is Tech Innovators Incorporated, is preparing to negotiate a deal with a potential client. Potential client is named as XYZ Manufacturing Limited. And what is that you're going to have? Here, XYZ Manufacturing Limited is to implement a new ERP system, enterprise resource planning, and you're going to sell this. suggest this, guide them on the new possibility of implementation of the new enterprise resource planning system. Now let's examine what you're supposed to do. Step one, step two, step three. One, research and gather information. One is market research. The sales organization, the tech innovators incorporated, first need to study the latest trends in ERP systems and what are the different varieties of ERP systems, how it can best suit with, and all that. And identify key features that are currently in demand in the manufacturing sector. So you can understand clearly. So this is the manufacturing sector, and this is the information need for the manufacturing sector, and our ERP system that is designed can best suit that or not. That can be helpful. So market research can only help to answer this question. Number two, okay, your ERP system for manufacturing is just good enough. You could find out all the requirements, key features that currently on demand. And fortunately, your ERP system designed by your sales organization called Tech Innovators Incorporated has got the superior product with you. Now, next comes client research. Client XYZ Manufacturing Limited, has got a lot of problems. So first is study. If it is a going concern, study their annual reports, recent news articles, whatever it is regarding ERP in manufacturing, social media posts to understand clearly the business goals and the recent challenges of ERP systems in manufacturing industry. And of course, if you can talk to them, you can be still more clear about what are their pain points. Next, go for need analysis. A thorough online reviews and industry forums, they discover the XYZ Manufacturing Limited struggles with outdated software that leads to inefficiencies in inventory management and production scheduling. Mind it. You could identify through some online reviews or something like that. You identify that they are having an outdated software that leads to inefficiencies in inventory management. There are two problems. They fail in production scheduling adequately, and also they are not just good enough in inventory management. So you're sure about what to do, what not to do here. So because need analysis is one thing you could identify. Market research, client research. Now you at this stage you would like to go in for identification of key stakeholders with whom you're going to plan for negotiations. It can be a CEO, it can be chief technical officer, chief executive officer, or operations manager of XYZ Manufacturing Limited. Of course, it depends upon the XYZ company manufacturing limited to depute who are they to come over for negotiations, because this is point where why you consider all these things means you should also know who are the primary decision makers for buying this ERP system implementation, buying it and implementation, because you can support that team particularly. And depending upon the principal party participating in the negotiations, it will be easy for you to make the proposal crystal clear. Suppose, of course, it can happen two stage. For example, they may ask a CTO to have the first level interactions, like chief technical officer will be discussing with you on the peripheral features of the requirements and all, and the important features of your ERP system that is suggested. Then for a final outcome, again, a CEO and his team can participate for a bargain, and they regarding the price system, incentives, whatever it is. So you need to identify the key stakeholders, and based on that, you can fine tune your sales arguments and the number of sittings that are planned. Now, the second aspect, what we need to say here is the sorry, setting clear goals and limits. Now, we have already talked about it, but then in this particular example, Tech Innovators Incorporated aims to secure a contract worth 50 lakhs for the ERP system implementation, including ongoing support and maintenance. See here, define crystal clear objectives, mind it. That means you have to set a clear goal and limits. That means your company, Tech Innovators Incorporated, they want to secure a contract worth 50 lakhs of the ERP system implementation, and you're going to give ongoing support and maintenance. That's very, very important because that's your sales argument, mind it. Clearly define what you want to serve and what you want to sell, what you want to give to the company, manufacturing company, ABC Manufacturing Limited. Then establish limits. What is this? The objective states that it is your aim to secure contract worth 50 lakhs. అంటే మీరు ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ ఏంటంటే 50 lakhs వర్త్ ఆఫ్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ తీసేసుకుందాం అని మీరు ప్లాన్ 50 lakhs కోట్ చేస్తారు. మీరు ఎంతవరకు ఇవ్వచ్చు, మీనింగ్ మీన్ 50 lakhs అంటే మీరు అనుకున్నట్టు ప్రైస్ రాకపోవచ్చు కదా, బికాస్ నెగోషియేషన్ ఈజ్ ఆల్ బార్గెనింగ్. So let's look at the establishment of limits. Establish limits. They determine that means the limits what you want determine that the minimum acceptable contract value is rupees 50 lakhs. Sorry, 40 lakhs. And I mean 10 lakhs వరకు I mean a little concession price offers ఇవ్వచ్చు అనమాట, అంటే bargaining లో. And it can be big amount. 10 lakhs is a big amount, but of course we do not know how it is like that. So you may say that it's 40 lakhs. So with limited customization options and a shorter support period. అంటే మనము వాళ్ళు లాంగ్ టర్మ్ కావాలన్నారు అనుకోండి, ఆన్గోయింగ్ సపోర్ట్ అండ్ మెయింటెనెన్స్, యూ కెన్ గివ్ ఇట్ ఫర్ 50 lakhs. బట్ నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటి, సపోజ్ అదంతా అక్కర్లేదు మాకు, ఇది వెరీ హై అమౌంట్ అన్నారు అనుకోండి బార్గెయిన్లో, మీరు లిమిట్స్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేయాలి. ఓకే అండి, మేము 40 lakhsకి ఇస్తాము, కానీ కొంచెం కస్టమైజేషన్ ఆప్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి, and this is the shorter support period వరకే మేము సపోర్ట్ చేస్తాం. I mean throughout the maintenance and ongoing support ఇవ్వము. Then again bargain. So you may work out at suppose for example at 40 lakhs of rupees. So that's how we have to go. Then if everything gets settled, no, next is the preparation of offers. Now develop different offer scenarios including basic package, pre-package, customization, and all extended support plan and all that. We have already talked, na? The 50 lakhs ki మొత్తం comprehensive approach istam. I mean support, ongoing support and maintenance. బట్ వాళ్ళు బాగా బార్గెయిన్ చేసి మాకు ఇల్లన్నా అక్కర్లేదు కొంతవరకు చాలా అన్నారు అనుకోండి, డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ ది నెగోషియేషన్ కాన్వర్సేషన్స్ దట్ టేక్ ప్లేస్. సో మినిమం మనం ఎంతకి ఇవ్వగలం అంటే 40 lakhs, అంతకన్నా తగ్గడానికి లేదు. అది మన లిమిట్. అంటే మనము సెల్లర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ నుంచి మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. So according to that, depending upon the bargain that takes place and the client's arguments and all, you prepare the offers, different offer scenarios, including what is the basic package, what we can give, and a premium package with full customization. అంటే మన దగ్గర ఉన్న ERP ప్యాకేజ్ ఆ పర్టికులర్ కంపెనీ యొక్క నీడ్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఆధారంగా కస్టమైజ్ చేసిస్తాం. అండ్ ఎక్స్టెండెడ్ సపోర్ట్ ప్లాన్స్ ఏంటి అంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మెయింటెనెన్స్ తీసుకునేటప్పుడు ఎన్నిసార్లు మనం వస్తాము, ఎన్నిసార్లు మనం వాళ్ళకి సపోర్ట్ చేస్తాం, ఆన్ గోయింగ్ అంటే త్రూ అవుట్ ఉంటుందా, ఇట్లా అవన్నీ తీసుకుని వి ప్రిపేర్ ఫర్ ఆఫర్స్. దట్స్ ద సెకండ్ వన్. సెకండ్ గోల్, సెకండ్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఇస్ set clear goals and limits wherein we define objectives, establish limits, and preparation of offers. And third one is understanding buyers' needs and potential objections. Here, very, very important. ఇందాక మనం చెప్పినట్టే ఈ టెక్నికల్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఏమి తెలుసుకోవాలంటే క్లయింట్స్ పెయిన్ పాయింట్స్. హూ ఇస్ ద క్లయింట్? XYZ Manufacturing Limited. So what do they want? XYZ Manufacturing Limited, suppose they want a solution to improve inventory management and streamline production process. This is their pain point. Whether your ERP system can answer these inventory management and production process issues. So that's very important for you to understand. That's a client pain point, is that you have to identify that and say whether your ERP package can answer answer inventory management and production process issues. So that's the pain point. Then potential objections. The client organization XYZ Manufacturing Limited may raise a lot of concerns about a lot of things, like it may be a cost aspect, it may be implementation time, it may be training or whatever, and compatibility with the existing systems. వాళ్ళన్నీ అనేక రకాలు అడుగుతారు. అసలు మా సిస్టమ్స్లో కంపాటబుల్ అవుతుందా అవుదా, మీరు ఇచ్చే ఈఆర్పి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంత కాస్ట్ అవుతుందా, ఎంత కాస్ట్ అవుతుంది, అండ్ వాట్ ఇస్ ది ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ టైం, ఇమీడియట్ గా మనం ఎంత 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 టైం లాగ్ ఉంటుంది మీరు ఇస్తే మీరు వెంటనే ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయడానికి, సపోర్ట్ సిస్టమ్ ఏంటి, ఇవన్నీ అడిగే అవకాశం ఉంది. సో యూ నీడ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై పొటెన్షియల్ అబ్జెక్షన్స్. ఎలాంటి అబ్జెక్షన్స్ క్లయింట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అడుగుతుందో తెలియాలి. నెక్స్ట్ ఈజ్ వాల్యూ ప్రపోజిషన్. ఇంత మనకి ఆన్సర్స్ దొరుకుతాయి కాబట్టి, అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ ద క్లయింట్ ఇన్ హిస్ మైండ్, నో వాట్ ఈస్ the position of the client in the process of taking our ERP package. So you prepare the value propositions, like the seller organization is Tech Innovators, sales organization is your organization, Tech Innovators Incorporated prepares to highlight the return on investment of the ERP system. See, if you implement this system, ERP system suggested by us, yes, this is your return on investment. How much return you can get on your original investment at what time, and how it will reduce operational costs of your entire process, like inventory management and production process issues, and seamless integration process with their current setup. That means without any problem. Seamless integration process means it can be a smooth transition, we can say. So we can help in a smooth transition of your processes with our new system that can be given to you. And with the current setup, there is no issue at all, and we'll be helping you. So these are the issues, and you can prepare a value proposition accordingly. So that is the what you call pre-negotiation phase. That's all over. All this is about the preparation minded. It's preparation completely. Now next stage is all about opening phase. Now with all these things clearly understood, then you can think of participation. Now establish rapport building and a positive relationship. Now here comes the issue with reference to how you are going to build up the conversation and negotiation. Please note, there is no compromise, but it's only collaboration. So you go with friendly interaction. Now, how you're going to open up the conversations and all, earlier also we were talking. So begin with a warm greeting and engage in light, non-business oriented conversations first. Don't straight away go for a business proposition. It may not always be good enough, but of course, it all depends upon the situation. So if the customer is not having sufficient time to engage in your conversations and all, they want to straight away, no, we want to have a very clear cut proposal from your side. If these things are there, okay, you can go in straight away for proposing your business proposals and all. But otherwise, normally, you need to start with friendly interaction. So this conversation, friendly interaction, can create a comfortable atmosphere between yourself and the client organization to open up clearly and going for a fruitful interactions. Then you find common ground where they identify the shared interests and experiences to build connection and foster the trust between yourself and the client organization as such. And always through the conversation phase, please note that because you are building up a positive relationship and a rapport as such, so you have to demonstrate a genuine interest in the buyer's needs and concerns, because you need to always consider their pain points, and whatever conversations that you're going to 1, 2, 3, 4 points you're going to present for the client. No, you need to tune yourself into the buyer's needs and concerns with all the sales arguments, because this helps a positive and collaborative environment where you can put the client at ease in the process of conversation. Next, the second one with regard to opening phase is clearly state your position and listen to buyer's initial position. Next, of course, if the conversation is good enough and there is a question between yourself and question in conversation, negotiation between yourself and the client organization or the client itself, then slowly propose the business proposition. Present your proposal. And this proposal must be non ambiguous, mind it. It should be as clear as possible, concisely present your product or service, highlighting its key features and benefits, and what is the advantage for the client. So that's the first presentation of your proposal. And then, of course, then it comes with reference to it can be price offers or doubts or maintenance or whatever, and a lot of things like long run, long term association, support system, what the client may ask. So there are a lot of things that come out. So pay a very close attention to the buyer's initial response and concerns. It is possible only when you actively listen, because it needs your skill to interpret what the uh, customer, the client has in his mind. Very, very important. That's why we say often it's not simply verbal communication that counts, but it is non-verbal communication also counts a lot, because you try to understand the non-verbal cues that come from the client side. A very intelligent way of reading the body language. So this shows respect and helps you to understand their perspective. Lending a ear and seriously involving yourself in active listening helps the customer to have a very clear posture for himself or herself to come to you in terms. So it shows respect. Listening to somebody else, especially the client, is definitely showing respect, and it helps you to understand their perspective and all that. Then encourage open dialogue. So when we say you will be participating in listening and then participating in this discussion and all, let him come out as clear as possible. So if you have any doubts, you try to ask open-ended questions, not a closed-ended questions like yes, no, or whatever. No, it's not something like asking, answering him, I'm sorry, asking for his answer as yes or no for your questions. Because you need to go in for open-ended questions, asking open-ended questions to encourage the buyer to share more and more about the requirements. And most of the time, initial objections, if there are any, can be initially answered. So with this, let's examine a detailed scenario as an example, a case. Say, for example, a car salesperson by name John is beginning the negotiation process with a potential buyer called Shara, who is interested in purchasing a new vehicle. How do you proceed? You are playing the role of a John, and I am playing the role of a potential buyer, Shara, or somebody else, whatever it is. First one, first step is establishing rapport and build positive relationship. What we said, open with a friendly interaction. So now the salesperson John greets Sarah with a warm smile and handshake, making her feel, making him or her, whatever, making her feel welcome. So this, because a large smile on your face is a welcome feature. Because it, please note that your objective is to go in for finishing the deal. So it's up to you to be proactive and participate in friendly conversation. Warm smile, handshake, depends upon the other person's response as such. Anyway, then the salesperson, John, starts the conversation by asking about her day and commenting on the beautiful weather and setting a relaxed tone. So today the weather is good and congenial for us to come and discuss and all. So this kind of a thing. I mean, this is not the only way to handle the friendly interaction. Find out some ways and means. Don't straight away talk about business. Am I clear what I'm saying? So this is just how it is to happen. Okay, after friendly conversation, you find the common ground where the welcome feature is almost guaranteed, and there can be what you call a comfort zone between John and Sarah, and you can open the conversation. And during this conversation, the salesperson John discovers that the buyer Sarah has recently moved to the city and shares his favorite local sports and trips about living in the area. Because once you go in for heart to heart conversation, as a matter of fact, please note here, nowhere till now there is no business proposition happening. So the if you can put Sarah in a comfort zone through friendly conversation, she's telling a lot of things like what are her favorite local sports, and and the tips about living in this particular area, how it is. So this helps to build a personal connection, mind it, more intimate relationship where the conversations, negotiations can be in a very trusted atmosphere and climate. So John's responsibility here is to show empathy and understanding. Next one, meaning that John expresses genuine interest in Sarah's situation, asking about her driving habits. See the discussion that's happening, and he's asking about her driving habits, daily commute, how she commutes from her residence to office or whatever, and what she's looking for in a new car. So what is that word? What is the facility you want? What is the feature you want? And he listens very attentively and nods to show he is engaged. That's listening. Listening. Absolutely listening. Next, clearly state your position and listen to buyer's initial position. Now slowly you present your proposal. Now John then shifts the conversation to business. Enough is enough. You see, you can't extend the discussion in an unproductive fashion just like that. Unending discussion. It's up to you. You are the judge there. It's up to you to, slowly divert the conversation in the negotiation table to business scenario. You can't go on wasting your time now. So that's it. So now he slowly introduces, Mrs. John, the salesperson, slowly introduces the latest car models available, highlighting the features, safety ratings, and fuel efficiency, etc., etc., etc. And the because that might interest Sarah. Open your briefcase and take out your brooches or whatever, and then start explaining the features, safety ratings, fuel efficiency, XYZ, advantage of this particular model XYZ and all. Then you, again, I've already told you, and again, it's a repeat thing that you should have to adhere to active listening. And as Sarah shares her preferences, such as needing a spacious car for her family, and if she needs a good warranty for a peace of mind, and all that. So John slowly, patiently listens without interrupting her, and he notes everything she presents, and he also notes her budget concerns. She might be talking about with regard to the price brackets and all that. Meaning I have the budget only for maybe 10 lakhs, 10, 12 lakhs, 20 lakhs, something like that. So John notes her budget concerns and constraints, and the importance of after sales service offers, whatever it is. So this all these things will happen. Requirements the Sarah has must happen only when Mr. John, the salesperson, participate in active listening. And engaging in open dialogue is very, very important here, and you should have to answer open-ended questions. I've already told you, John asks open-ended questions like, what features are most important to you in a new car? You elaborate the features, explaining the features of this new car, and asks Sarah, what are the features you think are most important to you in your new car? Can you tell me more about your, previous car features and all inconveniences, conveniences you have, and what you liked and disliked about it in the earlier brand you have used? All these things may mean a lot for you to suggest few more positive points with regard to the new car model. So this encourages Sarah, the customer, the client, to provide more detailed information, helping the salesperson John understand her needs better. See, this is what happens. Okay, two phases are over, like pre, stage and opening. The third, very important, is information sharing. This is the crux of a thing. How best you are going to, present the business proposal about the product or service is said to be very, very important. If you cannot fine tune your business proposition, the earlier two phases homework or research work will mean nothing different, because the pre-stage and the opening stage may mean nonsensical if you fail in information sharing phase. Now, what are the objectives here? First one is exchange relevant information openly. First is detailed product and service information, no hiding things. Open up clearly what are the things. You clearly provide comprehensive information about the product or service, very clear, relevant information, including all benefits, specifications, unique selling points, features, one, two, three, four, five, when compared to that of competitors' products. What is the competitive advantage your product has got? That's one. Second is about transparency. Be honest and transparent about any limitations or challenges, who which helps in building the trust. You can also talk about minus points of your product when compared to that of other competitors as such. Am I clear what I mean? No, you're not supposed to manipulate your brand because it has got some challenges or limitations. So it's your honest attempt and your transparent attempt to bring in what are the limitations and challenges of your product. See, nobody on the face of earth can have design a product which is 100% fault free. No, not possible. See, some features other competitors' products may have, you may not have in your product. So let there be a clear cut understanding between yourself and the customer about this. So that's transparency. And then, of course, give all supporting materials I was talking to you earlier. Use brochures, case studies, testimonials, right? You can as well bring in some of the positive comments of the celebrated customers who actually bought your car models and whatever it is. So use brochures, case studies, testimonials, and demonstrations. Of course, you can ask people to come to the retail outlet and go for demonstrations, okay, to provide evidence and support to your claims. That's the first important thing, is to exchange relevant information very openly. Information sharing phase is very critical minded because of the fact sheet you're going to present about their product or service. Next, ask questions to clarify needs and concerns. We have already talked about it. Open ended questions encourage the buyer to make more about their needs and any concerns that they may have. Then go for active listening. Listen carefully to buyers' responses. Ask follow up questions to gain deeper insights. And then address all the concerns. Provide clear cut, detailed answers, ensuring their concerns and address them satisfactorily. This is the second one. First one is exchange relevant information openly and ask questions to clarify needs and concerns, because you don't have any second chance, because you're going to share the information completely. Only thing is you have to close the deal in the next phase. Let us examine another example. It's a scenario of a real estate company selling a property, real estate property. A real estate agent, maybe Anna, is negotiating with a potential buyer, Mr. Michael, who is interested in purchasing a family home at a particular residential area, I mean, at a particular venture. The first phase is exchange relevant information openly. How do you go about? These are all case studies. Again, when I say examples, I think your faculty members may again repeat the same problems for tapping your skills in that particular negotiation phases. As a matter of fact, these are all practical assignments, mind it. You're given the chance. You're playing the role of a real estate agent, and somebody else will be playing the role of a potential buyer who is interested in purchasing a villa or a family home or whatever. So, how do you proceed? On the phase called exchange relevant information openly. So, first aspect is detailed property information. The real estate agent Anna provides a comprehensive overview of the property first, including the specifications of the family home, meaning including number of bedrooms and bathrooms and washrooms or whatever, and square footage and recent renovations that are there, or unique features, and the backyard for garden and how much area is left out for gardening, and energy efficient appliances inside the house and all. So this is a detailed property information exchange. Then again, you should be transparent, we have already said, because the honesty of the salesperson Anna, real estate agent Anna, is about telling about the property's limitations. That means you have to suggest that, see, this is the area where there is a problem here, and there are minor repairs you need to do with regard to roof repair or something like walls repair or whatever it is, and the age of the heating systems or cooling systems, if at all there is any, which may help build trust between yourself, Anna, and the Michael, the proposer, potential buyer of the house. Then you need to provide all the support materials. Anna shares brochures and high quality images of the property, testimonials from current neighbors who have already bought the houses and how satisfied are they, and build present all case studies of similar homes in that particular area, how they are and how they are functioning and all. It's very important. So she also arranges a virtual tour to showcase the property's layout and conditions. That's what we always say. It's the site visits, and you can take buyers from their home and make them see, I know, the property area, and have a physical look at the family home or whatever they want to buy, and then make them feel first feel you can have. So that's it. Then next is ask questions to clarify needs and concerns. All the Michael, the possible client, prospective client may have a lot of doubts. So Anna asks Michael questions like, now, what are the most important features you are looking for in the new home? And can you tell me more about your family's lifestyle and daily routines and all that, so that he can suggest. I mean, the real estate agent Anna can suggest something, this, that, etc. The advantage in this family home project you have. Next comes, of course, is active listening. It needs a safe neighborhood with good schools for his two young children, and then proximity to parks and grocery stores is very important from Michael's point of view. Listen to them properly. Listen to him properly as a real estate agent. Then Anna listens attentively and take notes and all that. Oh, she wants this. So then address the concerns. So Michael has raised a lot of concerns about neighborhood safety and the quality of the local schools, or maybe hospitals or malls, or grocery stores availability, and etc. And to the very large extent, if it's possible, Anna, the real estate agent, provides a detailed information, including the crime statistics, neighborhood watch programs, and school ratings, etc., etc., etc. So that helps Michael to clearly understand the property details. And the Michael's concerns are 99% answered because you're providing all the evidences. Because there is a question of safety concern raised. No, no, this is a thrown out area. We're not sure whether the crime rates. So you present the crime statistics, crime rates, and all, or you just consider how the neighborhood programs would be and all, and the schools and famous schools in and around, and the school ratings and all that. So that this kind of very detailed information to be provided can help Michael, the customer, to take a decision. Again, Anna also shares testimonials from other families in that particular area, and who had actually had a very positive experience and all. And you can make Michael to talk to them, the neighborhood. Yeah, and let Michael get convinced about the locality preference of that particular locality. So that's the phase where we talk about information sharing. Now next comes here handling the objections. See, for any sales deal, before it gets closed, lot of issues need to be answered again, lot of objections. Information sharing part is fine, and to a very large extent most of the questions get answered if you can proceed with information sharing, crystal clear information sharing base. But then there would be some problems here and there. And what are the problems that need to be answered? This is what we call problem solving phase. What are the objectives in this phase? First one is address objections and find mutually beneficial solutions. The first one is to identify and acknowledge objections. For every phase, we'll have another case discussion. Apply these principles. So, identification and knowledge of objections. You should clearly understand what can be the probable objections that are there. Understand and validate buyer's concern. You can't cut down the objections raised by the buyers minded. You have to acknowledge objections. You have to validate buyers concerns. You can say yes అండి మీరు అన్నది ఒక ప్రాబ్లమే కరెక్టే, కానీ ఇది ఇలాగ ఆన్సర్ అవుతుందని చెప్పాలి. అంతేగాని మీరు చెప్పినవన్నీ తప్పులండి, అసలు మీరు అనవసరంగా ఎక్కువ ఊహిస్తున్నారు, అలాంటి టైప్ ఆఫ్ డైలాగ్ మే కౌంట్ డౌన్ ది కాన్వర్సేషన్స్ యాజ్ సచ్. ట్రస్ట్ పోతుంది అనమాట. అంటే ఇంకా మీ బిజినెస్ ప్రపోజిషన్, మీ సేల్స్, మీ గోలే తప్ప మా గురించి వినరన్నమాట అన్న ఇష్యూస్ రాకూడదు, యాజ్ అ మ్యాటర్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్. So that's it. So understand and validate the buyer's concerns mostly, and show empathy from their point of view. Please try to answer if I were to you అన్నట్టు అనమాట. అంటే నేను మీ స్థానంలో ఉంటే అలాగే show empathy and acknowledge that their objections are very, very valid, and then propose solutions based on their objections. Offer practical solutions, tailored solutions, customized solutions, as a matter of fact. And most of the buyers' specific objections and concerns can be handled straight away. So that actually might involve making lot of concessions and lot of adjustment in terms and conditions between yourself and the client. So please note again here, you're working together. That's why it's called collaborative approach. Problem solving, what we mean, problems of not yours, it is clients' problems. అంటే మనం ఏదో సేల్స్ డీల్ సిగ్నేచర్ చేసుకుని క్లోజ్ చేయాలమ్మయ్యా, మనకు ఒక కస్టమర్ వచ్చాడు, ఒక మనకి రెవెన్యూ వస్తుంది అని అనుకోవడం కాదు. మనకి ఇంపార్టెంటే సేల్స్ డీల్, ఇంపార్టెంటే క్లోజర్ ఇంపార్టెంటే, బట్ యూ నీడ్ టు వర్క్ టుగెదర్. సో బయర్తో పాటు బ్రెయిన్ స్టార్మ్ చేసి ఇష్యూస్ అన్నీ, అంటే వాళ్ళకి తెలియని కూడా మనం చెప్పాలి కాబట్టి బ్రెయిన్ స్టార్మ్ అండ్ ఇవాల్యుయేట్ డిఫరెంట్ సొల్యూషన్స్, అండ్ దెన్ you emphasize on win-win approach and get the advantage. Second one is be creative and flexible in proposals. No rigid proposals, please. Think outside the box. use creatively to develop innovative solutions that might not have been initially considered. Of course, కస్టమర్కి ఎలా అనిపించారంటే ఓ ఈ డైమెన్షన్ కూడా ఇందులో ఉంటుందా అన్నట్టు అనమాట. So it is the responsibility of the salesperson. So think outside the box creatively. Then can this approach can involve building services, offering discounts, I mean, adding extra value to the products in question, services in question, and always be flexible. Don't be rigid because buyers' changing needs are there. You can't just disqualify the parents' arguments as such. So a lot of issues, right, needs and certain other circumstances. No two buyers will be the same in terms of buying the particular product as such, right? Every customer will have their own concerns, and circumstances in which the buyers get locked up also do differ. So you need to be flexible enough, and this flexibility can help in finding common ground and reaching an agreement. Then, of course, you have to choose the practical negotiation technique, like your trade offers, discounts that you're going to give, and prioritizing certain issues, something like that, and exploring certain alternative solutions to overcome any impasses, meaning objections or whatever. So they be creative and flexible in proposals so that customers can be answered. Yeah, let us examine another scenario example. A tech company, again, Innovative Solutions Incorporated, is negotiating with a potential client, Global Enterprise Limited, to implement a new software system. How do you handle? Please note, what is that we are talking about? We are talking about the problem solving phase. How do you help solving the problem? The first one we have said is address objections and find out mutually beneficial solutions. And the second one is be creative and flexible in proposals to close the deal. Let's examine how you're going to have this. The client has concerns about implementation process and potential disruptions to their operations. That means the problem of this company, Global Enterprise Limited, okay, they are interested in taking your software and implement, but then they have some concerns. What are their concerns? About the implementation process. They are not sure about how you can, I mean, implement your software program suggested, and there can be some potential disruptions, some disturbances with the existing system, existing operations. This is their major concern. This is their major concern, mind it. So now first step would be address objections and find mutually beneficial solutions. So during the discussion, first of all, identify and acknowledge objections. Say, okay, sir, yes, it is a problem with regard to implementation. And also, there may be little disturbance, little disruptions in the operations, but we are going to help you a lot. So during the discussion, the representatives of the Global Enterprises Limited expresses concerns, and you, from the salesperson, from the Innovative Solutions Incorporated, you can suggest how it can be implemented. Now you propose the solutions. Innovative Solutions acknowledges these concerns. Mind it, you can't cut down. You can't cut down. You have to acknowledge their concerns and propose a phased implementation plan. So we are going to have an implementation plan for you. Don't worry too much, and our team will be suggesting, coming to you and suggesting the way in which it can be implemented phase wise. So there can be no disruptions. There will be many very minimum disruptions. So this offer to conduct internal initial setup over weekends and non-peak hours to avoid downtime, so that this is what we call proposing a solution minded problem solving. Problem solving is you're suggesting a proposal very in clear terms. Sir, we are not going to disturb your processes by coming on and off, no, frequently, no. We'll come and set up over weekends and non-peak hours, where so that your businesses cannot be disturbed very much. So in the non-peak hours, so to avoid downtime. So you just consider our proposal like this. And it is a collaborative approach. Both the parties engage in collaborative brainstorming sessions, what best we can do. And it is the initiative of the salesperson, please note, innovation company, technology innovation company, to suggest the global enterprise. So, what are the risks that are there to mitigate the risks and all? What are the disruptions that may take place? How can you eliminate disruptions, etc.? So again, you can also suggest, extra training for the staff of that client company, and you also suggest that how good are you in providing a dedicated support during the transition period of the implementation of your software. All these things in a collaborative approach as such. And the second aspect we have already said, be creative and flexible in proposals. So, I mean, Innovative Solutions Incorporated is a sales company selling the software to that global enterprises. It suggests building additional support services, including on-site assistance during the first month and of implementation, and a series of follow-up training sessions to ensure a smooth transition. Please note, this is thinking outside the box, creative thinking, how a client organization can be helped through process of implementation. Yeah, please note what it means. That means it should help the client organization to think, you know proactively. Yeah, this is the best thing which I can get. So it's up to you to think outside the box in the process of explaining what are the risk factors and how the risk factors can be best managed with their help. So the next aspect is providing them flexibility. Don't be rigid with your own conditions, this, that, and all. Say the tech company, the sales organization shows flexibility by offering a discount or support services, other packages. See, if the global company is a global enterprises, the customer, I mean client, agrees to a long-term maintenance contract, they will also give long-term maintenance contract. So this is how you're helping to address the budget concerns while ensuring ongoing support. This is how you are supposed to handle. Don't be rigid with your own limits of signing an agreement with your own arguments and conditions in your sales argument. So as far as possible, and see, and what I am saying is that you are supposed to be within your revenue model. You can't completely compromise. It's a collaboration, not a compromise, as a matter of fact. So yes, you have to go in for a negotiation technique, and both parties use trade-offs. What is the advantage you have? What is the advantage client will have? Always they will always be looking at their own perspective, right? No, the sales organization will be looking at their own perspective, and the client organization also will be looking at from their own perspective. So ultimately, there will be a common ground to reach, and there can be a chance where agreement can be reached. And Global Enterprises Limited, the client organization, agrees to extend the contract period and exchange for reduced rate on support services, etc. They negotiate. No, no, they give us this much of a thing, this much of a thing as a concession. And they may also come in by looking at, by saying certain prioritized issues like data mitigation and user training, disruption handling, and all. So all these will be in a dialogue scenario. You have to negotiate clearly and then complete the sales deal. And the last phase is agreement phase. Sorry, Upendra, it is 11:11. Can I go ahead?
Yes, it's a last phase, so it's better to go ahead.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know about your class schedule and all. So if you can permit me, I'll just close here, and tomorrow we'll have another. Tomorrow, I mean the next week, I'll have one more, and then final closure. Okay.
So we
Right.
close with the agreement phase, sir. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
An agreement phase, this is a final stage where negotiations should take place. See, all the homework what we do should have a logical end result. The logical end result is to take the order from the client, and sales deal finished. That's it. See, let's examine what are the objectives of this agreement phase, a very critical phase. You can't, this is almost one step down to final signatures that can happen between both the parties. So the objectives are, one is reaching a final agreement that satisfies both the parties. So you first the thing is you have to review and confirm. So recapitulate all the key points discussed, and for both the parties, like what are the concerns raised, and or from the client side, what are the suggested solutions you are going to offer to the client and all. So let both the parties agree on the solutions and terms. This phase is very critical. I have already told you. It might involve revisiting the major concessions, trade-offs made during the negotiation, because your a quick review and a recap of what went on during the earlier phases must be brought down for a dialogue, crystal clear dialogue. And it is, please note, it's a very critical phase of reaching an agreement. And the next would be, after a quick review and recap, then both the parties are satisfied. There cannot be any doubts, please note, of both the parties, because we have said it is not compromise, it is collaboration. Again, I repeat number of times, it is collaboration, not in compromise. అంటే ఎవరో ఒకరి కోసం ఒకరు కాంప్రమైజ్ అయిపోయి అప్రోచ్ ఎలాంటి డిసడ్వాంటేజెస్ సినారియో పర్సెప్షన్ ఉండకూడదు, ఎవరికి, కంపెనీకి ఉండకూడదు, అండ్ క్లయింట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ కూడా ఉండకూడదు. So consensus building. Ensure both the parties are satisfied with the final terms and address any last minute concerns. మళ్ళీ అక్కడెక్కడైనా మళ్ళీ ఏమైనా మిస్సింగ్ లింక్స్ ఏమైనా ఉంటాయేమో చూసుకోవాలి అక్కడ. ఎందుకంటే అగ్రిమెంట్స్ అనేపోయిన నువ్వు ఇలా చెప్పావు, నువ్వు అలా చెప్పలేదని ఇలాంటివి రాకూడదు. అంటే పోస్ట్ సేల్, ఐ మీన్ టు సే పోస్ట్ అగ్రిమెంట్ తర్వాత మళ్ళీ మీరు ఇలా అనలేదు అలా అనలేదంటే ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తాయి. సో అగ్రిమెంట్ మస్ట్ బి మేడ్ ఇన్ క్రిస్టల్ క్లియర్ టర్మ్స్. అడ్రస్ ఎనీ లాస్ట్ మినిట్ కన్సర్న్స్ ఆర్ క్లారిఫికేషన్స్ టు ప్రివెంట్ మిస్అండర్స్టాండింగ్స్. ఎందుకంటే ఇది ఒక డిఫికల్ట్ ఫేజ్. ఇది అంటే ఏదైనా డౌట్ క్లయింట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్కి రావచ్చు, ఏదైనా పాయింట్ సేల్స్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ చెప్పొచ్చు, ఎనీథింగ్ కెన్ హ్యాపన్ కదా. అంటే ఇవన్నీ బిగ్ డీల్స్ అనమాట. అంటే మనం నార్మల్గా ఏదో సూపర్ మార్కెట్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఏదో ఒక చిన్న ప్రోడక్ట్ కొనుక్కున్నట్టు కాదు ఇది. మనం నెగోషియేషన్స్ స్కిల్స్ అండ్ ఎంత పెద్ద ఇష్యూ ఏంటంటే వెన్ ఇట్స్ అ బిగ్గర్ సేల్స్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అండ్ బిగ్ క్లయింట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అస్ సచ్, ఒక మధ్యలో ఉన్నటువంటి అగ్రిమెంట్ అనమాట. దట్స్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో అందుకని ఈ డిఫికల్ట్ సినారియో అంతా డిఫరెంట్ ఫేజెస్లో జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. And ultimately, both the parties should be agreeable to a particular thing. And nobody loses, nobody gains. It's a win-win scenario. So in the అయిన తర్వాత ఏంటంటే లాస్ట్ మినిట్ కన్సర్న్స్ అండ్ క్లారిఫికేషన్స్ టు ప్రివెంట్ మిస్అండర్స్టాండింగ్స్ కంప్లీట్గా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మనం ఫార్మలైజింగ్ ది అగ్రిమెంట్. మేక్ షూర్ దట్ ది అగ్రిమెంట్ ఈస్ డీటెయిల్డ్ అండ్ కవర్స్ ఆల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ ది. ఎందుకంటే ఇది ఇక్కడ కన్సెషన్స్ ఇందామని చెప్పాం కదా, అంటే ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ స్టేజ్లో వాళ్ళ సపోర్ట్ టీం వచ్చి వీళ్ళు హెల్ప్ చేయడము, ట్రైనింగ్ ఇవ్వడము, వాటెవర్. అంటే మనం ఇందాక టెక్నాలజీ ఓరియంటెడ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ తీసుకున్నప్పుడు వాటెవర్ ఇట్ ఈస్. అలాగే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కార్ సేల్ ఉందనుకోండి, అండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ సేల్ సర్వీస్ ఎలాగా, ఇన్ సపోర్ట్ ఏంటి, ఎన్ని ఫ్రీ సర్వీసెస్ ఇస్తారు, ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ మేక్ షూర్ దట్ ది అగ్రిమెంట్ ఈస్ డీటెయిల్డ్ and covers all aspects of the deal, including what are the deliverables that you are going to have, what are the timelines, and what are the responsibilities of both the parties, and what are the payment terms. So this is a highly standardized system where you can formalize the agreement and then confirm terms and next steps in writing. Very, very important. A written document, written contract it is called, and a comprehensive contract, and it's as clear as possible, as concise as possible, and as legally binding as possible. The terminology should be nicely set where the obligations on the part of the seller and on the part of the customer must also be very clearly indicated. And next is signatures. Obtain signatures of both the parties to formalize the agreement. That's it. So can be, of course, can be physical signatures or electronic signatures for as per the convenience, as a matter of fact. And then the next steps would be, uh, because something like contract has got timelines, like including deadlines and other milestones, timelines, and other communication protocols, how the client should have to talk to them, and what are the timelines and all that. Say guarantee period, warranty period, and the sales organization come to the customer campus and suggest, check, give all the necessary follow-up answers to the problems raised there, all the timelines and all that milestones, deadlines, everything must be made very clear through the communication protocols. అంటే ఎవరెవరు ఎలా చెప్పాలి, ఏం అడగాలి, ఏంటి, ఎప్పుడు అడగాలి, ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టుగా ఉంటే అంటే కొంచెం కొహరెన్స్ పోతుంది. దట్స్ వాట్ వి మీన్. కొంచెం స్టాండర్డైజ్గా ఉంటుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, మీకు ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం వస్తే ఫస్ట్ 7 daysలో మా ఫ్రీ సపోర్ట్ స్టాఫ్ వస్తారు, మాట్లాడతారు అని అన్నారు అనుకోండి. అట్లా అనమాట. దట్స్ వాట్ వి కాల్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ప్రోటోకాల్స్. ఎప్పుడు పడితే అప్పుడు కాల్ చేయడం, ఎప్పుడు పడితే అప్పుడు మీరు రాండి అనడం, ఇది ప్రాబ్లం. ఎందుకంటే everybody has their own systems in operation as such. So that's what we mean. సో ఎవరు ఎట్లా మాట్లాడాలి, ఏమి కన్సర్న్స్ ఉంటాయి, ఏ డిపార్ట్మెంట్తో మాట్లాడాలి, ఫోన్ నెంబర్ ఏంటి, ఇవన్నీ మనము ఆ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ప్రోటోకాల్స్ మనము ఇవ్వాల్సి వస్తుంది. అంటే ఇంటరాక్షన్స్ మస్ట్ బి ఫుల్ ప్రూఫ్ అనమాట. అది లేకపోతే హెపజార్డ్గా ఉంటుంది. సో హోమ్ టు కాంటాక్ట్ అన్నారనుకోండి, ఏదో నెంబర్స్ 10 నెంబర్స్ ఇచ్చి అలా కాదు కదా. యూ నీడ్ టు కన్సిడర్ ది ఇంటరాక్షన్ క్లైమేట్ కూడా యాజ్ ట్రస్టెడ్ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్ ఉండాలి. So కాబట్టి you to define communication protocols also clearly. Who is to be contacted, how, and working hours and all that, all this. And all the next steps will ensure that both the parties know what to expect moving forward and can plan accordingly. Because అంటే క్లయింట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ ఎంత వాట్ కాల్ సిస్టమేటిక్గా ఉంటుందో, సేల్స్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ కూడా అంత సిస్టమేటిక్గా ఉంటుంది యాజ్ అ మ్యాటర్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్. కాబట్టి ఒక కొహరెన్స్ లేకుండా కమ్యూనికేషన్ ప్రోటోకాల్స్లో, డెడ్ లైన్స్లో, టైమ్ లైన్స్లో అవేమి అసలు హెపజార్డ్గా ఉంటే ఎవరు ఏం చేయాలన్నది కష్టం అయిపోతుంది. అందుకని ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం చెప్తారు కదా, అంటే మనం నార్మల్గా మనకి సింపుల్ థింగ్స్ లైక్ మనం కార్ కొనుక్కున్న తర్వాత ఫ్రీ సర్వీస్ ఎప్పుడు ఇస్తాం, ఏ టైంలో వెళ్ళాలి, లేకపోతే మీది ల్యాబ్స్ అయిపోతుంది అని చెప్తారనమాట. ఎందుకంటే అది ఒక్కడికో అరేంజ్మెంట్స్ చేసుకోవాలి కదా. మీరు ఇది మీరు క్లియర్ కట్గా తెలియకపోతే, సో మళ్ళీ ఫ్రీ చెక్స్ ఎప్పుడు, ఎంతవరకు ఉంటుంది, ఎంతవరకు కన్సెషన్ ఇస్తారు, ఎంత తర్వాత ఎప్పుడు పే చేయాలి, ఎంత పే చేయాల్సి వస్తుంది, ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ అన్నమాట. అంటే ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తున్నాను, n+1 నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ మీరు యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూద్దాం మళ్ళీ అగైన్ హియర్. వి జస్ట్ క్లోజ్ విత్ దిస్. So let's look at, it's a case of an advertising agency, a marketing agency, advertising agency, Creative Minds, is finalizing a contract with a client ABC Retail Limited. ABC Retail Limited వాళ్ళ మాల్లో లేకపోతే ఏదో ఉంది, వాళ్ళకి రీటైల్ అవుట్లెట్, వాళ్ళకి సంబంధించి ఒక అడ్వర్టైజింగ్ ఇష్యూ అనమాట. After agreeing on the scope of work and payment terms for a new advertisement campaign, అంటే marketing agency has to suggest a new advertising campaign for a retail outlet like ABC Retail Limited. So first step I have already told you, reach a final agreement that satisfies both the parties. మనం అగ్రిమెంట్లో ఉన్నాం, ప్లీజ్ నోట్ అగ్రిమెంట్. సో రివ్యూ అండ్ కన్ఫర్మ్, వాళ్ళిద్దరి మధ్యన ఉన్న డిస్కషన్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అవన్నీ రివ్యూ చేసేస్తారు. క్రియేటివ్ మైండ్స్ అండ్ ABC Limited రివ్యూ ద కీ పాయింట్స్ డిస్కస్డ్ డ్యూరింగ్ ద నెగోషియేషన్ ఫేజ్, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ ద స్కోప్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్. లైక్ అంటే మీరు అడ్వర్టైజింగ్ క్యాంపెయిన్ అంటే ఏంటిది, అది బిల్ బోర్డా, లేకపోతే ప్రెస్లో అంటే మ్యాగజైన్ అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంటా, టెలివిజన్ అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంటా, సోషల్ మీడియా అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంటా, అంటే ఫేస్బుక్ మిగతా వాటిల్లో అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్స్ ఇస్తారా, ఐ మీన్ ఇన్స్టాగ్రామ్లో వాటిల్లో అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్సా, ఎలా, వాట్ ఇస్ దట్, సోషల్ మీడియా మార్కెటింగా, ఈమెయిల్ క్యాంపెయిన్సా, ఆర్ కంటెంట్ క్రియేషనా, సింప్లీ కంటెంట్ క్రియేషన్ ఆల్సోనా, ఆర్ వాట్ ఆర్ ద టైమ్ లైన్స్, పేమెంట్ టర్మ్స్, ఇవన్నీ ఆల్రెడీ మాట్లాడేసుకుని ఉంటారు. అది రివ్యూ అండ్ కన్ఫర్మ్ చేయాలి ఫస్ట్ నెక్స్ట్ ఫేజ్ అనమాట. ఎందుకంటే అగ్రిమెంట్లోకి వస్తుంది, అగ్రిమెంట్ ఫేజ్ అన్నాం కదా. దెన్ తర్వాత కాన్సెన్సస్ బిల్డింగ్, బోత్ ది పార్టీస్ will have their own grievances handled, addressed, and ABC Limited expresses satisfaction client organization expresses satisfaction with the agreed solutions అయిపోతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ ఫార్మలైజ్ చేస్తారు అగ్రిమెంట్. క్రియేటివ్ మైండ్స్ డ్రాఫ్ట్స్ a detailed agreement with terms and conditions, outlines, everything, deliverables, వాళ్ళు ఏమేమి ఇస్తారు వాళ్ళకి, ఈ ఏబిసి లిమిటెడ్కి అన్నీ ఇచ్చేస్తారు. ప్రాజెక్ట్ మైల్ స్టోన్స్, అంటే అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్ ఎప్పుడు ఎయిర్ అవుతుంది, ఎంత ఫ్రీక్వెంట్గా ఎయిర్ అవుతుంది, అంటే ఎక్కడ ప్రెస్లోనా, టెలివిజన్ యాడ్, లేకపోతే రేడియో అడ్వర్టైజింగ్, లేదు అంటే బిల్ బోర్డ్సా, లేదంటే సోషల్ మీడియా అడ్వర్టైజ్మెంట్, ఏంటి ఏ మాట్లాడుకున్నారో దాన్ని బట్టి ఉంటుంది. అండ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ టు బోత్ ది పార్టీస్ అండ్ ది టోటల్ కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది క్యాంపెయిన్, అంటే ఎంత టైం పీరియడ్ ఉంటుంది, ఎంత సమయం మీరు క్యాంపెయిన్ రన్ చేయాలి, ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ ఇస్ ది కన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఆఫ్ ది టర్మ్స్ అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్స్ ఇన్ రైటింగ్. వీ హావ్ ఆల్రెడీ సెడ్. సేమ్ ఎన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ తీసుకున్నా అదే ఉంటుంది. క్రియేటివ్ మైండ్స్ ప్రిపేర్స్ ఎ కాంప్రిహెన్సివ్ కాంట్రాక్ట్. ఇది మీ అంటే సేల్స్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూలో ఉంటుంది ఇదంతా. రిటర్న్ అగ్రిమెంట్ మీదే ఆబ్లిగేషన్, బయర్స్ది కాదు. So the contract specifies the campaign start date, end date, frequency, and what is the payment schedule that the IBC Limited has to clear out. It's all these things. And any penalties for late payments and missed deadlines, both the parties. మిస్ డెడ్ లైన్స్ ఉండొచ్చు, అంటే ఫ్రమ్ ది క్లయింట్ సైడ్ ఉండొచ్చు, పేమెంట్స్కి, అండ్ సేల్స్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ సైడ్ ఉండొచ్చు, అంటే ఏదైతే కమిట్ అయ్యారో ఆ కమిట్మెంట్ జరగకపోతే, ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. నెక్స్ట్ ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ ఇస్ టేకింగ్ సిగ్నేచర్స్, either electronic or physical signatures to expedite the process and close the deals. So all these things must be very clearly mentioned, and we have to go for a follow-up, like initial kickoff meeting, what went on, what are the final milestones for deliverables, what are the other communication protocols, project updates, everything. Next consequential steps అన్ని కూడా క్లియర్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత both the parties sign the agreement and close. So let's take, before we close, a final word. See, the phases of sales negotiation, why these are anta systematic ga enti inta professional ga enduku untundi ante, it is that it equips the sales organization with the skills needed to close deals successfully and build long term relationships. Oh, contract వీళ్ళతో మంచి సపోర్ట్ ఉంది అని బయర్స్ ఫీల్ అవ్వాలన్నమాట. బిల్డింగ్ ఎ లాంగ్ టర్మ్ రిలేషన్షిప్, ట్రస్ట్ చాలా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. So all these strategies are important for you to take the negotiation in a very professional way అన్నమాట. ప్రొఫెషనల్ వే చేస్తే ఏంటంటే మనకు ఒక బెస్ట్ అవుట్కమ్స్ వస్తాయి. అండ్ ఆల్ ది సేల్స్ నెగోషియేషన్స్ ఇంత సిస్టమేటిక్గా తీసుకుంటే, అంటే మాస్టరింగ్ ఆల్ దీస్ phases may mean here that you achieve successful outcomes in all your future negotiations. మీకు ఒక కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ బిల్డప్ అవుతుంది. అండ్ అదర్స్, అంటే ది కస్టమర్స్, ది క్లయింట్స్ who are satisfied with your things, like, so they are the best advertising medium. They say, okay, this is the company with which we can enter into a contract. They never miss deadlines. They are good enough in giving us a lot of concessions. They also give us a lot of follow-up training, whatever. ఇవన్నీ మనకి వస్తాయి. అంటే ఇంత సిస్టమేటిక్ అప్రోచ్ ఉంటే నెగోషియేషన్స్ విల్ బి సక్సెస్ఫుల్. ఇంత ప్రొఫెషనల్ అప్రోచ్ ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయి ఉంటుంది. So that is the discussion here. So now the floor is open again.
It's a very nice session, sir. So whatever you are saying in each phase, so we are our own experience yesterday and for long many years also. So I have one thing, sir. One of my friend
That's it.
was very good at several aspects. Am I audible, sir?
Okay. Yeah,
Am I
audible. Perfectly audible. Please proceed.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
audible. Please proceed.
one of my friend was a very good salesperson and very good negotiator. If possible, I invite him for the next last session to have a live interaction
Oh.
with him, sir. So
Hmm.
he convinced me to take a bank account and later an insurance policy, then mutual funds, and then a real estate also. So he was doing several jobs, and he was a good expertise in these skills, negotiation skills,
Okay.
sales skills.
Okay.
Sir, I
Okay.
invite him in the like last session, sir, if possible.
Okay.
If he was free.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. Where he is working?
Uh, Sir, as you know, he was your student also. Okay,
Oh,
and
okay.
he was Prasad, sir. I think Prasad. I know Prasad for the last 20 years, and
And what
I
is
done
he?
a lot of.
What at present? What is he doing?
He is multiple things, sir. He was a insurance agent, and
Acha,
he was a
acha.
mutual
Okay.
fund agent. He was a real estate agent,
Oh,
and
he's
now
on
he was
to.
practicing law. And now,
Oh,
so
okay. So self-employed.
yeah,
Self-employed.
self-employed.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
That's
him
it.
well, sir, and his skills also. So, if possible, I invite him for a few minutes discussion in the last session, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Good.
Uh,
Good. Good enough.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Any queries from the participants? I think. Okay, sir. It's a good session, sir. All four phases are very important phases. I have
Yeah.
a
Very
deeper
important.
understanding of these phases and the key aspects of these phases so that you will be a good negotiator and good sales negotiator. Uh, Thank you, sir.
That's
Thank you so
good.
much, sir.
So how many are there? Actually, I'm not sure
Sir,
about how many.
I'm not sure of it. So we are on live. So stop streaming, sir, so that we
Because
have general discussion.
our students also left StreamYard. That's it.
Okay, okay.
StreamYard left.
Sir,
Only you and
we
me are
are on
there.
live. We are on live set. So stop the streaming,
Okay.
sir. Then we have discussion.
Okay. I am stopping it.
They have another website now. So